Hello and welcome to TSL Judges Battle of the Blades. Actually, we're not even judging. We're discussing, recapping, revamping,
Dave,
reliving.
I'm judging.
All
I'm
right.
judging.
We are, you know what? We're talking about Battle of Blades. So if you love
There you go.
skating and you love Canada, subscribe below because we love you too. And hit that notification by ring that bell. Yeah, because you need to know when we're uploading new stuff about Battle of the Blades. We had to search wide and far. The videos that were bootlegged, it took a while for them to get up. One viewer actually uploaded us an entire video of the entire episode. Other ones...
Which is so helpful. When you see
Yes.
like the episode in context, it's so much nicer than trying to kind of piece it together from the clips. Like CBC will give the public open clips that they can watch in any country, but it's hard to piece it together that way.
Yeah, like I'm willing to pay for Battle of the Blades so that, I don't know, maybe Canada can like have the Grand Prix on television. I mean, you know, on their feet.
Imagine that. Yeah, okay.
But we have lots to discuss here. Also, do you ever like talk to someone when you're either haven't had coffee yet or you haven't had like your melatonin, you've had your melatonin and you're just like really just like agreeable and like not realizing, like not paying attention, like your life is just happening and like you forgot that conversation ever happened, right?
Keep going, Dave. Where is this going?
It's not that bad, don't worry.
Okay.
I didn't
I'm
like
free.
I haven't like bought any like big purchases, but
Okay.
I did know that like one viewer asked me, like, she goes, I have some old Stars on Ice Barbies. Would you like
I'm
them?
listening. Yes, of course you want that.
I was like, well, I am
Did you
gay.
try to be extra casual so it didn't seem like you actually really wanted to see them?
Well, I think she started it like, do you know anyone who would want them? And I was like, well, I think we need to see a picture. Because
Yeah.
as if I was like, I don't just want any bad Barbies.
Right. Yeah, these have to be in mint condition.
But like, this viewer, I felt was effing with me a little bit.
Okay, it's all a ruse.
It was like a ruse because I feel like she knew me and is maybe one of my new favorite people. They're like, we have to like walk through like what actually happened. So I get home yesterday, I go to my therapist, talk about all my life problems.
I did that this morning, 2 hours. We're up to...
Well, I didn't do 2 hours, but you know,
Okay.
Dr. Laura's doing great. I'm gonna sneeze. It's okay.
Bless you.
It's all gone. It's all gone, people. Okay.
Oh.
Wonderful.
I plug it and then it's like I explode. Okay.
All right. So happy that happened. Okay. I was like, I really don't want to have to edit this together. Let's do it in one take. All right. So I get I'm like, I have this package, and I knew that like Barbies were maybe coming because I finally relented. I was like, yes, I'm that gay. I'll take them. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I just like
I
won't.
will relieve you of your Barbie collection.
Like, I just, like, won't tell my mother. I don't need her judgment. I don't need, like, none of that, okay?
Right.
We don't need her being like, what, are you going to do drag next? Like, we don't need Debbie to, like, do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
she
I
can
got
lash
that.
out from time to time.
It's a thing.
So I go to move the box, and I'm like, this is heavy. Like, did Barbie come in cement blocks? They don't look like collectors.
Were they life size?
And, like, I've been to the Barbie exhibit in Amsterdam. Like, and it was a crappy exhibit. Like, it was not what I thought. Like, but whatever.
Okay.
I open it, and it's, like, shoeboxes full of, like, packing tape. I can barely get it off. You know,
Okay,
I haven't done my
okay.
yoga in about 2 weeks of, like, my strength. I've been just doing stretching. I'm like, God, I don't know where my scissors are. I'm, like, all discombobulated. Jonathan. Yes, the Barbies came. And we will get to that. But I am a history nerd. But I have like old issues of Skating Magazine that are fabulous. But this is better. Like,
Okay.
you may want to touch me. I'm just like,
Okay.
it's this good. Okay. I open it with a note, and the person goes, "Sorry, no Tessa, but hope you enjoy these." This viewer obviously knows that all I want is the Tessa Virtue Barbie.
Okay.
In fact, I even sent them a message about, like, I was that fangirl. That was like,
Okay.
no, we need this Barbie. Because I had dreams Because I like a good bit from time to time. Remember the spray of the lavender?
Right.
And I was like, we need the Tessa Virtue Barbie to just look at Jonathan on his dance monologues when he's talking about deportment from an artistic point of view.
She just rises up.
But I think for the ladies, especially when the Russian fans just are commenting, we have something that's better than a Stars on Ice Barbie. Like, better. We have two queens here, and we just need to, like, go through the Barbie edition.
Okay, yeah, get it. But don't tell us what it is.
Also,
should we figure out what it is?
Once upon a time, I bit my sister because her friend came over, and suddenly I wasn't, like, good enough to play Barbies with her. When I was about two, we played Barbies together all the time, and then her friend comes over, and I'm not good enough. Toddler Dave was very upset about that. Just so you know. So you know.
Chomping at the bit one night.
Chomping at the bit. Okay.
Okay.
If anyone else is gay and has had this happen where you've been shaded by your sister, please let us know. I felt like my behavior. I was told from a young age that my behavior was kept in the house.
Amazing.
Right?
Okay. See, my sister didn't want to play Barbies with me because I spent too much time setting up the houses and never actually playing. I was like, well, shouldn't we move her furniture here and move her this? And the key was you always needed a hand mirror or like some mirror you could place flat, and that became Barbie's skating rink.
Okay. So Jennifer was always Debbie's favorite. Like, Debbie wanted to be a teacher. Jennifer is a teacher. Now she's a principal. Like, the whole thing, right? She's got the grandkids. The dog Debbie loves.
She's doing it right.
She wanted... My mom wanted us both to go to college in-state. Of course, I was like, I'm not going to the same college as my sister. I'm too good for that. I'm going to school out of state. Right. My sister, like, really was probably the easier child. Whatever. Okay, she was a mean girl.
Okay.
When we would play with her dollhouse, my Playmobil were invited to play, but they were only allowed to be in the basement of the dollhouse that my dad built for, like, storage of extra furniture. Like, they were second-class citizens. Like, this is...
And were they, Dave?
This is Titanic, and they're Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here, all right? This is just not about Battle of the Blades anymore. But I have wanted my own Barbie. I've read about Christy Yamaguchi having this Barbie. Obviously, I know a Christy book. I know her favorite skater. I've seen the pictures of Christy, and I just want to say... I feel one step closer to Christy Yamaguchi because I now have a Dorothy Hamill doll, okay?
Oh, I think you're confused because I feel like that's a Bruce Jenner doll.
No, that is not.
That's LA 84. Bruce
Look
Jenner.
at the wedge, haircut, look at the dress.
Look at the cheekbones. Bruce.
She's going to fall on that double axel in the warm-up and come out and get it. She's going to have some scandalous marriages. Like, okay. This is our queen, and I think that when some of these fans talk about the Russians, Queen Dorothy needs to just come out with her skating skills.
Can you figure out how to do the Hamill camel with that? Yeah, drag it on the...
Well, it's like the 76 Barbie, so you know...
Okay,
oh my God, Jenny would not like how the foot goes on the camel. Like, she really would be upset.
Yeah, leggier than maybe Dorothy was.
But she's doing her double lats. Oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Can you do her crying at Worlds?
It's all good.
Okay.
But I don't know what company made these, but some of them are better than others.
Oh, okay. It's not a consistent manufacturer.
Like, I think this is supposed to be Christy Yamaguchi, although she looks a little Caucasian.
Well, and I'm trying to go by the dress. No, I think that's Nancy.
Is it? Is this just like a random Barbie that is? I don't understand.
Yeah, generic skater Barbie.
I mean,
let's look closely at the dress. What does the dress look like?
I don't. It's the same dress.
It's not
as the
Katia
dress. Barbie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it almost had that does kind of look like Katia.
Oh, it's supposed to be Katia. It looks more like Katia from far away. It's kind of like a Monet. It's just a mess up close. But
that's right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I think I've always loved that episode of Will and Grace where Jack has the Cher doll, and I think that we need this. Katia needs to look at you. All right, Tarasova and Morozov, you're embarrassing the legacy of Marina Zueva.
Katia.
You're embarrassing Katia, okay? And she's going to be here for when we discuss Battle of the Blades, because Kurt Browning is really a bitch of a judge. Like
her in particular.
And
yeah.
we've said about Canadians, they're very passive aggressive. Russians, they just put it all out there. They will accuse you of being afraid of Russia, jealous of Russia, like whatever they say if you do not like them. So I just think that Katya needs to sit here and give Kurt a piece of her mind as if he had criticized a Terry or her skating skills.
Got it.
Also, I think this is supposed to be Katerina Witt, the unflattering years. Remember when that was like that halter dress and the thighs and like it was a little matronly and a little drag, like definitely the drag. It doesn't really look like her, although I'm getting butch German woman, right? Yeah,
again, it's the outfit. Like Dorothy's outfit was like bang on because it was so specific. But I wonder if these were specific to stars.
This outfit is too cheap for Jeff Billings, but I know which costume it was. I don't remember the actual program. Every Katerina Witt Pro program kind of became about her like going like this and going like that and the tan skates. Right. And I feel that this doll will likely sit in a shoebox in the closet, but she'll be doing that in my mind. She'll just be like hanging out, all right?
Yeah, exactly. Some hip wiggling.
And like, I don't know, she wasn't really on Stars on Ice, but I think
that is Nicole. That is Nicole through and through. That is the Dr. Zhivago dress, no question.
But no question. The eyes look different than Nicole's, but I feel this is Nicole Bobek.
Yeah, right? Like, come on, that's too specific of a dress.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Like, this, it's very interesting. I don't know what I'll do with a Nicole Bobek Barbie, but I think I'm glad that I have
What won't you do with a Nicole Bobek Barbie?
Right. Like,
maybe you can adorn your Christmas tree with that.
Oh my God, the people that leave homophobic comments, they'll be like, that boy with the Barbies, why don't you just go talk about him?
Yeah,
and just so you know, if I had an Atari Tudbaritsa Barbie, I would play with it all the time. I would like it to have all of her different coats.
That would be the tree topper.
Oh my God. Like my Christie tree topper, it would have the denim with the fur, the whole situation. Okay? Anyway, getting into the better part of what came, because you know I love it.
Oh, I was like, it's not even over. Okay.
Oh, it's not over. It's never over.
It ain't over.
Apparently you used to have scorebooks that you could buy at the national championships.
Hold up, of all U.S. championships to be at, that one in 91, I'll tell you what.
Brought to you by Diet Sprite and NutraSweet. Basically, brought to you by lymphoma and leukemia.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, February 10th to the 17th, Minneapolis, St. Paul. They didn't even pick a city. Why bother? Okay. There were ads. People liked skating back then. But the best part about this is that there are bios and freaking headshots of everyone. Oh, you don't even know. They have modeling headshots. It's like we're on the beginning of Dance Moms.
Bring it.
Look at this picture of Nancy frickin' Kerrigan. Okay, can you see this? Can everyone just...
That is glamour shot. She needs to be holding that pop denim collar in that studio in the mall. She needs a bedazzled leather hat.
Kuchiki, twin sister of the other Kuchiki. Tisha Walker. Oh my God.
Was it Natasha? Natasha Kuchiki?
Natasha, but she had a twin sister.
Yeah, okay.
This is the kind of skating history reference book. Oh my God. Richard.
Well, what was Tanya?
Richard Sears. Do you know who Richard Sears is, Jonathan?
Oh, gosh. Menacing.
Richard Sears trained with Christy Yamaguchi and Rudy. Grew up to be Richie Rich of the Club Kids and Heatherette. So, yes. All right?
He was already performing in those... Wait, I want to see Tanya's photo.
Oh my God. He called me once, a couple times, Richie Rich. Very nice. But I was like... I feel we've had different backgrounds. He's like, you should come out in the city one time. And I'm like, didn't your friends murder someone? What?
Yeah, different circles.
I've seen Party Monster. What would we talk about? I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I can hold a conversation.
91 Nationals.
I think Tanya actually paid for a headshot. Oh my God, Bobek looks like John Benet Ramsey. Look at Bobek. She didn't have a chance. Okay.
No.
But look
she was only second at Midwesterns. Okay, Tanya's looks like Tanya. Holly Cook, bless her heart.
Oh
Bless
my
her
God,
heart.
the tour. There were so many tour stops.
And
for
Kyoko underneath there.
Oh my God, Jerry Campbell didn't get a photo. No, Papa Kwan, I sent this to Karen and Michelle. Michelle doesn't think that Papa Kwan wanted to pay for it, but Karen Kwan was here in the novice division with a photo to remember, okay? Like, you know what?
That was my favorite. I got rid of all my skating magazines, but going through them and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all these youngins.
You can put your scores right here, Jonathan, okay? You don't get this in the IJS.
You gotta write fast. But you could.
I mean, only if you're me are you like writing scores while the skating is going on. Oh, there's some cute gays here. Oh my goodness. Yes. We're not supposed to say that. Skating has as many gays as any other segment of the population. Right, isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Yeah, well, they don't even admit to that much.
Oh my God, but no, where's Karen Kwan? She was novice lady. Oh my God. I saw her yesterday. Oh, here. Oh, they bring it. Teresa Aiello. I wonder if she's related to the other Aiello. Look at Karen Kwan with the short hair, Jonathan. Do you see her?
I saw that and I just kind of went past it.
Oh, yes.
Gosh.
I don't know if that's a headshot. That might have just been taken in the mall. I don't know. But anyway, this book will give me such joy, okay? Also, this person then made like a little bit of sexual references in here about it's from Nancy in Columbia, South Carolina, home of the University of South Carolina Gamecocks, where people wear Go Cox clothing and yell Go Cox before every ball game. True, a few years ago, the Gamecocks played the Troy State Trojans. People were very creative with both slogans. This viewer gets me. Like you people have.
Yeah.
She understands life. Not only did she know that I needed a Dorothy Hamill Barbie and wanted a Tessa, she knew that I needed...
that story.
that I needed the 1990 USA World Team book. You used to be able to buy books of the World Team members that have bios of them and the coaches.
Speaking of Holly Cook.
First of all, look at how hot Susie Wynn was looking. You ever go to the hair salon back in the day where like, well, you probably don't go to any like trashy hair salons, but any of them where they have like pictures of like what you could get, where they have like too much gel in.
You would like flip through like a coffee table book of like weird models and you were supposed to pick your hairstyle.
Oh my God. Sharon Kars and Doug Williams. You know, there was one judge I forgot to ask Adam Rippon about, but I don't... There was one judge from California.
That interview was fabulous, by the way.
Well, thank you. There was one judge, but I'm kicking myself for forgetting to ask him this question, because I knew the answer to it. There was one judge who won nationals, was suspended, and he was like friendly with Adam and the skaters in California. And you know how we sometimes tease Doug Haw and the older gays for being like mildly special, where they don't know like what you can say and what you can't say places and things like that. You know, when older gay men, they just don't know, right? Like you can't help them. I mean, like when Doug is gonna talk and like call someone out of shape or talk about the tent in their pants or like
wait.
It's almost like a mental condition. Yes.
When he was like, oh yeah, you know what, we call that just tossing the salad. So he's just tossing a salad. And we were like, oh my God, I know it's not what you mean, but please keep going. Okay.
So Adam Rippon had posted a photo on his Facebook in ripped jeans. And this judge posted easy access.
Oh.
He got suspended. It's listed on the USFS website, but they only suspended him for nationals.
For that specific comment?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Exactly. But then they were like, taking this...
he shouldn't have done it. Like, it was
like tongue-in-cheek. They should have just had him delete it and like... Basically,
yeah, they should have given him a wrist slap or something for that.
Come on. It was like published like in the last line of something. It was like a 1-month suspension right during the nationals, but it is a true story. So, confirmed by other members of the judging panel and the U.S.
Okay.
These are just things we need to know. I just thought he would laugh about it because they were like friendly and it was fine. So, he's kind of like considered like that fun old queen on the judging panel. Like, yes.
He's sassy and often gets in trouble for his comments on social media.
Like, you don't even know. I may put this up in my house.
The Tanya Rainbow situation next to Elizabeth Punslin in the race car outfit. Like, come on, this is camp realness.
And above Elizabeth Punslin is Jared in what looks to be drag makeup. I'm not sure if that's 100%. A technical term. This is why.
I mean, this was a crew. I'm just like enjoying. Chris Bowman looks translucent. Oh my gosh, Jenny Mino's old partner too. And look how handsome Todd looks.
I'm so glad you said something like partner and not nose or something. She didn't have one. I'm like he's like old. I'm like, what? Where are we going?
No. Look at those facial features no one has anymore. No.
Oh my God. And then look at this gem. Okay. I mean, I don't want to brag, but that's the 92 World and Olympic team. Anyway, Battle of the Blades, I think, happened this week. And
pales in comparison now to this memorabilia excitement.
Look at this. Oh my God, look at Russ Witherby.
I know, right? He was cute.
If I were younger, I would be his type. I mean, he likes a younger man.
I think fight.
Oh my God. Anyway, let's go into Battle of Blades. It was a lot this week. Okay.
Well, both weeks, right? Because we watched
2 weeks. We're doing weeks 3 and 4.
Because we recapped 1 and 2, and it was much more enjoyable than I anticipated. And on this one, I did a little bit of an experiment, and I had one friend watch the 3rd episode with me, and I had one other friend watch the 4th episode with me.
Who are you subjecting to this? This season is not my favorite. Honestly, Sandra thinks that she's too old to judge, and she's wrong.
We need the guest judges. Now,
Kurt's
I know Megan,
energy is off.
It's very bitter and upsetting. And there's
He's meant to be a host. He's not meant to critique because you start to see like Kurt knows he's more talented and better than everyone else. And
a couple of times he starts a rant and he can't quite figure out how to finish it or make a point in a concise manner. So a couple of times the camera just went and he just stopped talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't your guy for this.
It's awkward.
Sandra would be amazing. Now I'll be intrigued.
And it's hard to get a chemistry when you do like. Remember when John Wilson wanted me to like have different people on every week and try that? That'll be fun. It's like really hard when you don't have practiced chemistry with someone. You don't.
Yeah, a dynamic. Yeah, totally.
It like you always feel like you're stumbling for the very like some of these male hockey players. You feel like you're stumbling.
Even when they stand still.
So, yeah.
We did get a good judge on episode number 3 in Marie-France Dubreuil. I was very interested to hear what kind of comment she was going to give in this kind of scenario, and she, gave us some generic surface cheese like you're supposed to in these things, but she gave some interesting insight a couple of times.
It was always about what she said and what she didn't say.
Yeah.
I paid close attention and made notes about her comments for everyone.
Yeah.
She's really brilliant. And she knows how to put it in such a diplomatic way. That's why she knows how to maneuver all the judges. She knows just what to do. As we've said,
because it's not abrasive.
No.
It's very subdued in a way, but yet very authoritative.
She has energy like...
Which I think Sandra does in a way. It's a collected and calm, but you're going to come to her.
Sandra's a little more like... knows how to giggle and flirt.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Marie-France is just like, I'm the MF queen, okay?
Yeah, okay.
She is. She is.
Yeah, literally.
Well, we found out that Vanessa James and Katia are going to be in the bottom 2. Only in frickin' Canada, okay? Canada, you are almost as nationalistic as Russia in the point of ridiculousness.
Right.
And I've had to make peace with something that's about to happen. And it's okay, Jonathan. We can accept it for what it is. But I think that Katia deserves to lose, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with you because...
It is embarrassing that they are setting up a Weaver and Poje final.
Right.
In the way that Dancing with the Stars wanted to do with Meryl and Charlie.
Right.
They are trying every which way to push this. From the scoring to just the way that they talk about things, the propping up of people.
But isn't it so interesting?
Katia did not deserve it. She is at her skating weight. Of a woman of a certain age in skating years, okay? Like,
and she looks incredible. Like that bottom placement has obviously nothing to do with the program. No, Vanessa and her partner did.
Well, I love Vanessa. She looked freaking hot in person. She was in Skate America. She had this green dress on with this little leather jacket, mini leather, and these stilettos on, and she looked freaking hot. Her body looked great.
And she's a delightful personality. Every time we walked past her, she was friendly and speaking to a group of fans and was very generous.
And that can sometimes be hard for French people. And she was really giving the most. Okay.
Right.
She, like, they don't know how to dress her on this show. Those Ideas have always, like, cut off her line. Because she actually has a very beautiful, almost, like, model walk. The Ideas make everyone look ugly.
Boxier. Yeah, but she has a beautiful leggy look.
Yeah, in person, it's like, goes to a point. Like, you almost have the Barbie toe, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. She's not really a performer. When she doesn't have that Sound of Silence music going on, and without the bodysuit and that natural kind of sexy energy with Morgan, she's kind of like one of the weak links in terms of...
But don't you think it's gotta also be, if you're the girl and you're with someone, and her partner in particular was pretty rough at the skating. And
so
I think
are several.
You have to be so constantly worried about it. Like, you have to be totally preoccupied. You couldn't even sell.
Also,
I would be so worried about him going down at any point and taking me down with him.
So this show was, like, really good and really hot and very packaged, like an early Dancing with the Stars before it became, like, we're going to dress in Disney costumes and...
Right.
Like, remember when Dancing with the Stars had that black lady who sang and she would always have the different hairstyles? There was, like, some good cheese about that. Like, I enjoyed it. We were on a journey with her. I wanted to know what she was going to look like. The conductor, Harold, I felt like we knew him. But then it got all weird and we had a DJ on Dancing with the Stars. It's changed, okay? And, like, the celebrities started to get, like, weaker. I'm like, I don't know who Whitney Carson is, but I'm... pretending to care who generic Russian number 27 is. Like, it feels like Vanessa was someone who should have been a star on this show, and they just, like, didn't know how to produce her or package her. And the male hockey players look a little old and
hungover or something.
Beer gunny? Like...
Yeah, a lot of them, actually. You're kind of surprised at that. And I know, again, we know that hockey skating is different than figure skating, but a lot of them, they couldn't even stand up straight.
Yeah. And like,
it was very strange.
I know that this is like 2019 and we're like not supposed to say such things, but like female hockey players on a show like this, where you have to be like a graceful ice princess, like, really, girl? I know. It's a new era. You can be you can skate to the Matrix, okay? It is that
In fact, she did.
Right? We are
Shout out Sakamoto.
No one's making you a pretty ice queen, okay, Tanya? Like, you can be as, like... However, it's really hard to judge because being a female figure skater in pairs or dance is way harder than being a man. Like, when you're the flower, like, in this kind of competition, I don't think that they know how to judge this, and it just is, like, a little awkward.
Because the thing that the pro female skaters could do is just hit a pretty lip position, because for as horrifying as some of the male skaters are, the hockey guys, they all have tremendous upper body strength, so they could do these exciting lifts because they were able to be so beautiful. And of course, when you get to someone like Andrew, he's now dealing with a very different partner than Kaitlyn in size. And I'm not talking about the hockey girl's size. She's just a different size than anyone he probably lifted, muscular in different ways, like all this sort of stuff. And you can tell she doesn't know how to assist with her body weight in the same way we talk about with Tara Kane or maybe Mervin's new partner or whomever. The girl has a serious responsibility to assist in those lists, and you see when that doesn't happen.
And do you also notice that, like, Katia, when she gives interviews, like is very good at being famous. She knows what she's doing. She knows about talking to the camera. It's very natural. She looks like she's Mark Ballas or Derek Huff, like with that comfortability. The Weaver and Pojes, you know, the ones that are under IJS, which is more technical and less performative and less popular in English-speaking places, don't have that same level of polished TV-ready fame persona. Like, it's just a little off. It's why Ashley and Adam were so different, right? Like, they were so perfect for fame.
And current. They were current and real. I mean, I was surprised because I thought in our interactions with Vanessa, she has that kind of quality, but it did not come across on the show.
No, I don't know what... I don't know. It just, like, was kind of like... It was one of those great ideas that kind of felt like it stumbled
Didn't quite
a bit.
work. Yeah.
So, anyway, she was in the bottom 2 the first week, but let's just discuss her, because, you know what? She gets frickin' voted home, okay? I'm just gonna...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, okay? I tried to do it in order, but, you know. Vanessa... Oh, wait. We can start with... We'll go in the order. You know what? Amanda Evora skated to Old Town Road. A song my nephews love.
When I first turned this on and they're like, it's country week, I was like, Dave is just going to be the end of me. I know. Watching this reality show and it's frickin' country music week.
Could have been worse. It
could have been much worse. They chose much more current pieces and more crossover pieces. I was very thankful.
And you know, I sometimes like some country music. I've had many a birthday.
With Achy Breaky Heart and line dancing, Dave.
We've gone line dancing for my birthday. Because I like a mechanical bull. We've gone to that cowboy bar in New York where they play that Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds movie.
Okay.
Best little old whorehouse in Texas. All right.
Good musical.
Yes. So, Old Town Road, though, not my jam, but my nephews love it. The kids love this song. I don't know why, where it's from, but she was doing choreography, and Amanda Evora is kind of like the Cheryl Burke of this show. She's got like a real natural flirtation to her, and like a little more sex appeal. Even
in the fluff pieces. And she like kind of drapes against him, and I was like, oh, are we playing a love story now? Because that's what that body language means to me as a viewer. But
and she's engaged to be married, which is like very Cheryl Burke. Because if there was one thing that America enjoyed, it was gossiping about Cheryl Burke during the early seasons of Dancing with the Stars, and the producers knew to play it up. Okay. It was like a wink, wink, nudge. Okay. Amanda Evora, if this show had any legs, we'd be doing that. But it's Canada. It's Canada. They have no balls.
Won't go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone is just happy for each other. We're just inspired. This is the Eric Radford era. We are just inspired to be here.
And look what happened to him. He was out first elimination.
Yeah, but like, I wrote down justice for Eric when some of the other people were skating. I was like, Eric Radford had a terrible partner who had given up. Okay.
Yeah.
Amanda Evora recycled some Adam Rippon driving choreography.
Mm-hmm.
She did a gorgeous lift. You know, those Jim Peterson lifts, they were like everything here, okay? You know that Jim was having a vodka at home being like, I taught her that, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
She learned that hashtag Team Florida, hashtag Southwest Figure Skating Club, hashtag Ellington, hashtag...
And the panda.
The panda. Hashtag I think Amanda should come back and play Pocahontas in my show this Sunday. Like, wow, what is he doing? You know Jim. He's very special, okay? By the way, Carrie wants you to date Jim Peterson. She was telling me this at Skate America. I was like...
Oh.
She was there, all right? I don't know. She just, like, decided. The dance lifts were good. The crossovers, I thought, were very awkward.
This was interesting because I think in this week, this was sort of the most uncomfortable skate from the amateur. It was this particular program.
I don't know how they made it through another week.
Yeah.
It was, but they weren't in the bottom 2 because, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a returning champion. That's maybe...
Well, and she's great. Do you know what I mean? It's no question. I mean... It's hard to see them adapt.
you always get points for being pretty, okay?
Yeah.
She had beautiful lifts here, I have to say. But Marie-France had the greatest quote. Colton, you'll never be a figure skater.
And then she goes on about his big body, like all this stuff.
Truer words never be spoken.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like...
And she said it with a smile and graciously.
We don't deserve her, okay?
No.
We really don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The judges went 5-6, 5-6, and then Kurt has to just like...
Always. With the exception of one. Yeah, he's just always one below to prove a point.
5-5.
Yeah.
He may not be wrong. It's just the energy he does it with that I'm like...
There's a smugness that is off-putting, and he may not mean it to be so, but it really is a dark energy in what should be a light, fun show.
Sandra, get him out of the judging, and like, he should just be hosting. He used to just host and come out skating hockey skates, and everyone. We didn't need to know that he was a little smug, like the skaters say Charlie White is in the Stars on Ice rehearsals.
But we don't see that from Charlie when he's doing this public thing. And
until we saw it on Twitter. Until we saw it we didn't know.
Politically.
We didn't know until he was smug on Twitter. And I was like, wait, have you graduated from college yet? Because you're very elevated about the politics. Like,
amazing, yeah.
We like Charlie, but...
But I think Charlie in a judging situation may offer criticism, but wouldn't do it with that bite. It's different in a rehearsal. I believe that. I think he would put on the show because he knows you're supposed to, and I'm intrigued why Kurt doesn't feel
certainly if Meryl was there.
Yeah.
You know what Charlie and I have always enjoyed is when you do your crossovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. So Weaver and Sheldon Kennedy. I love Jolene.
He's kind of cute.
He is kind of cute.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of... This is the guy with the sexual abuse history. The older guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Who I think...
Wait, they whipped that out the episode it got them the marks? Like, you don't even know. Okay? And Kurt was like, sometimes it's about more than just the skating. He and Scott always know how to get out that fake tear when they need to. That half a tear that, like... goes down your cheek and goes back up. They know how to deliver.
Well, Scott would do it with the shaky voice.
Scott, one of the great actors. Like, that is incredible. But Weaver doing Jolene, I have to say that Weaver is perfect for this show. She just loves skating.
Could not be more of a slam dunk. She's cute in the interviews.
Yes.
She's doing great moves. And I bet she seems a very attentive partner. And I like that feeling. Like, I can tell she's genuinely probably helping this guy out, and they're kind of doing it together. And I feel and I appreciate this from a collegial standpoint, I feel like she's doing a lot to comfort him along in the process. Like Amanda, Vanessa, you saw a couple of moments when their partner looked to them right before they started, and they gave nothing back. Mm-hmm. And if you're a scared, burly hockey player in that moment, I feel like Caitlyn would look at you and be like, we got this. Mm-hmm. We're good. You're great. You're going to be great. Or, you know what I mean? It would be a much more enjoyable experience with someone like Caitlyn, I feel.
And I feel that she's finally getting her world title, because all I remember is every year in skating, during the Champs Camp High Performance Camp weeks, I would always talk to Megan and Bruno. And they would always say something ridiculous like, I think Weaver or Chalk are really going to win this year. And I'd be like, that's never going to happen. That is never actually going to happen. Like,
right. Do you understand that? Yeah.
Don't talk ice dance. Like, this is...
Right.
Like,
go do a throw quad.
You know, like, sometimes you have to explain how the world works to Canadians. Like, they always thought Weaver was going to win it. Like, we always had this one fan last year who always used to message us about Canada. He's, like, been at it... I don't think he's woken up into skating. He'll wake up for Skate Canada. They don't wake up for Skate America. They wake up for their event.
There they go. They'll come out. Yeah, okay.
They will literally have posts this week like, the skating event is starting. And you'll be like, the Grand Prix started last week.
Yeah.
Not to Canada. Not to
some kind of, some historical stuff has been happening.
So I thought that she was really smart by the fact that they do the bare minimum of like skating with him. They just focus on doing better crossovers than the other people. They're not trying to do these turns and these like ridiculous things. Like he has no real emotion or extension, but I liked it, and I enjoyed the backhanded compliment that Marie-France gave Kaitlyn Weaver. It wasn't just like, Kaitlyn, you're such a star. It was, Kaitlyn, you're such a star on this show. Granted, it was said with a slightly different cadence.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't read it that way, but...
It was like, there was a qualifier there. And I don't even know if Marie-France realized that she did it. But knowing that she turned them down several times as an ice dance team, it just felt like it just came out of her. Like, Kaitlyn, you are such a star on this show. Like, it...
Kaitlyn, in the last minute and a half, you were my favorite skater out there. Amazing. Yeah.
Oh my god, maybe she's finally going to win her world title amongst the hockey players. The only thing... Listen.
She's earned it. She's put in the time.
She's put in the time. Poje wouldn't compete. She has a sexual abuse victim. If that does not get you, like, a male sexual abuse victim, a big burly man shedding a tear about sexual abuse, if that doesn't get you America, Canada, nothing will. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
She is... I forget that she's not even really Canadian at some points. Like, she is...
Is she not? I didn't know that.
She's from Texas.
Imposter!
Okay.
Then how could she win? I'm surprised she's... Well, now that you've revealed that, she'll probably be in the bottom two next time.
He hasn't screwed her over like that. When he screwed over Eric's partner, whatever. He did have some punny lines, but he didn't make me vomit as much. But...
Okay.
But again, 5'8", 5'8", 5'7".
It was see the pattern here? But I think they did a really good job in him just improving in overall quality, if not in a flashy moment. So you did see, like, especially as we have seen adult skaters, and, you know, I'm much more on par with this kind of level of skating, and I was like, oh, but I do see steady improvement from him, where I have not from certain others.
Now, Violetta and PJ. Remember, PJ's been on this show before, Jonathan.
Yes, and PJ is the cutie patootie.
He is cutie patootie.
Yeah.
All the charisma. But do you notice that, like, he is really phoning it in? He has no illusions that he could win this show. And frankly, I think he's here for a paycheck. I think they offered him money, and he's like, fine, I'll make it to the midpoint of the competition. We're not going to win. No one knows who Violetta is. No one even knows what discipline she competed in or how she's involved in skating at the circus. Like, what is this?
They only talk about the circus and her background info, Yeah,
like, what is this? What's the real deal? You know, a Canadian is going to write, like, a big biography of her. I already feel it coming.
I would like to read it.
Yes. No, I have to say that she's a really beautiful skater. They should put her in that Cirque du Soleil show. Maybe in ice dance. I don't, like, she has some of the best lines. I thought PJ is not that smooth, but I really felt like he was just, like, not caring. Like, there was just, like, a vibe going, like...
I thought there was something gentle about his lifting of her that I really enjoyed. Like, he was careful with her, and I appreciated that.
Well, yeah. He just seemed like tentative, perhaps, and the back crossovers were kind of bumpy. Maybe because he didn't have the rehearsal time of the other guys, and, you know...
But see, I was still with him. I was still with him much more than Vanessa's partner, much more than Amanda's partner.
Did you catch that story that he said where each one of his kids had a sign?
Oh my gosh, I loved that. And it said...
They should have shown a video of it. We needed the footage. Come on,
I wondered if they caught it, or, because they each had the sign that says... PJ is
my dad. And then the one kid fell asleep and got moved, and when the camera finally went on, it said, "Is PJ my dad?" Incredible. Like,
pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
That's like the mystery of half of the Russian children of famous coaches in ice dance. Like, who is
Some competing now?
who is Mr. Andreev? Like, who is Meryl Davis's father-in-law?
Mm-hmm.
The world may never know. Like, you're like...
Diana Davis, anyone?
Yeah. So, anyway, she has amazing lifts, and I love watching her. But this is so funny. Marie-France had another great line here. So, Colby went 5'7", because he's really nice and very Canadian. Like, he's so Canadian. Like, he really seems like he's friends with every hockey player on every team. Like, he is really the most Canadian. Kurt went 5'6", because he's passive-aggressive. And then Marie-France, because she's blunt, goes 5'6". You know, you're great actors. Just act.
But she's right. Like, you do have that thing, so go for that.
You can't skate at all.
Yeah, so maybe schmack.
Just
maybe,
act.
Yeah, just be funny.
Madison Chalk, you're sexy. Just be sexy.
Just belly dance.
Just belly dance. The judges won't care.
And she might be right.
They took her advice, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, Natalie Spooner and Andrew Poje. Her facial expressions, amazing. Okay, just incredible. He looks hot in jeans. Mm-hmm. He never looked sexy with Weaver. I don't know why the vibe was always off. They were always like... It was always like they were trying to be good, but it was dialed down. They tried to mask her. You know, she's a likable girl. Terrible skater.
Very. Yeah, but I have to say better than I anticipated based on how she was starting.
Yeah.
Like she was doing a bit more, but she is one that was just like, okay, here's my body.
She's a rough watch, but then I'm like, wait, we're comparing her with the guys.
Right.
And it's like, okay, we're going to judge this on a curve. There's going to be a real curve here. Yeah.
I believe that because she's getting into the lifts, and of course you see him, doing everything. But
she doesn't know how to hold her body, like, at all.
Right. Yeah.
You know, she has never thought about extending anything. Like, she is a real scored 50 goals. He let us know. Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah, because
Ron counted every one. Okay.
Because some of her skating skills weren't bad. She was less choppy than the guys were. For sure.
Yeah. It's just she doesn't know how to hold her body, and then she'll go like this, and then like...
And that's why it was interesting what Marie-France said, because she was like, if you ever just go back and let the breeze blow across you, you may find it helps something. But of course, that's saying, will you open the hell up? Like,
open the hell up.
Can you lift your head and open your arms and project?
You're looking almost as butch as Eric's partner. Okay? She's like...
Almost.
Almost. Yeah, okay? Don't make us bring back Amanda Kessel. Okay? Like that.
The fact that we know these names.
Natalie Spooner and Andrew Poje. That team. Okay?
Yeah, that's right.
And then I love Colby 5'9", Marie-France 5'8".
Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
Let's keep the focus on my hair and my beautiful sweater.
Not that we had a choice. I was completely drawn to it.
Kurt, 5'7". He cannot help himself, Jonathan. He is literally that, like...
Well, you know what? This is me just, what do they call that? Armchair psychology. But I think it's that idea that he's got to be different in some way. He's got to stick out because he can't handle just being on a panel. That's not the showcase.
He had to do that. He had to do his quad as his 6th jumping pass in Calgary. I mean...
4 minutes in, it reminds me of Scott when he's talking about Philippe Candeloro and Lillehammer. He's like, I always question putting such a difficult jump so late in the program.
So we get to the skate off.
Absurd.
Why does it? You better run for your life. Is that what they were skating to? Why don't I remember their program? Anyway.
Who?
Vanessa James and her partner. I don't really remember.
And she's wearing the green?
Yeah, I don't really remember her partner's name, nor do I care to, so don't even put that in the comments. He had
a bad guy kind of thing going on that, I don't know, wasn't the worst, but the skating certainly was.
I just wrote, her partner not good.
Yeah, in fact, sort of kind of laugh. Now, I don't want to say that because that sounds mean, but was the most clearly like, oh, what's he doing?
We couldn't bring him through another week. It just had to go.
Yeah.
Although, Sandra made a comment like, I think they actually count the votes on this show. I think Canadians didn't realize that, like...
Well, if you're going into viewership, do you know what I mean? And it seems like, based on they keep giving background information about his hockey career, and he must be such a mega giant, because they were making all those tooth jokes, because he knocked someone famous's teeth out and all this sort of stuff. So he must be an iconic figure in hockey. So, you know, that many people maybe tuned in just to see him attempt to figure skate because the whole idea is absurd to them or something. Now, but it looked like he didn't want to be there either. He looked like he thought it was done.
If I got this channel on TV, watched it live, or cared enough to vote, which I haven't done, and yet I'm very outraged about Katya being in the bottom two.
That's right.
I might be Vanessa's skating for Alzheimer's, which my grandmother had. Like, we are right on par with each other, okay?
Yes.
Like, that, they could have had a puff piece about her visiting her grandmother, and you know what? Everyone feels Alzheimer's, okay? Like, I went to mine. You have a lovely time when you are, like, coloring things in the home, and then you know, reflect, and you're like, wait, we're treating grandma like she's 5 because she can't remember anything. Like, it's very, mixed.
It's tough. But here's the interesting thing about doing a show like this is and she had a great exit interview when she said, it's nice to skate for something bigger than medals. Like, she was saying these right but very earnest things, and I just thought it's tricky on a show like this where you want to play up that things are for charity and we're rooting for them for that charity and these sorts of things, but it's also a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's supposed to be a fun, lighthearted show, and it's so great and noble that they're raising money for these causes, but the more they talk about the causes, it helps you remember that fact, but it also is kind of...
And they never...
The dichotomy of it doesn't really...
And it's so Canadian, they never bring up, like on The Apprentice, which I used to watch, they never bring up how much money the contestants are actually making, which I'm fascinated by. Like, I want to know what they're winning. They're not just skating for charity, just so you know that, like, they are getting paid.
Well, and then also to be clear, like, does Vanessa's charity get anything now that she's voted off, or it's just the grand prize gets a big check for
they might get something, because they always make comments about how many millions they've donated, and they only... like 100,000, I think it's donated if they win. So, which is great, but it's not
millions.
I think. Okay. So I bet that they do, like, each week.
Well, and then because each team, like, so if a team wins, they're actually donating maybe 100,000 each because they have different charities.
Yes, that's very true. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
We'll have to ask Sandra. Okay.
That's right.
Colby 5'7", Marie-France 5'7", Kurt 5'6". I was with Kurt there.
Yeah, I mean it was well, and Marie-France I could tell a couple of times was adjusting last minute.
Yes,
like nothing's written down, and you could see her kind of with a twinkle and be like 5'7". 5'7". Yeah,
she knows
she's doing ordinals. She's doing ordinals in her head. Yeah,
she knows that skating scores are all fake. Okay, come on.
Exactly. More than anyone.
She competed in ice dance for how many years? Like,
that's right.
She'll be like, I lost a world title at home. How did that happen? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
To 2 midgets from a country we don't even know. I'm kidding. One of them killed someone. Okay. She'll be like,
oh wow, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I actually don't know. But that might. Something happened. There was some sort of a scandal there.
Messy situation.
I don't know. I never liked that program. That was like during my dark time. I was abroad. I don't know. That was the 7 Deadly Sins program, I think, that someone did. I don't even remember their names. But they did actual side... You know, the program, they were really masking the partner's skating ability, and then they did that side-by-side skating. It was such a freaking mess. I was like, he's
and now
just
you
done.
know why they don't do that. He literally quit.
Yeah.
He was like... just standing there. He looked embarrassed to be doing that.
Now, Katya and hot Bruno Gervais, you know, like when someone is attractive but they have no confidence and they become less attractive? He should probably be one of the best skaters on this show, if not the best skater. He, as Kurt said, he has the best body for skating. He actually is a good skater. He just doesn't believe in himself. His shoulders are kind of hunched. And he
But I
kinda,
understand that. But I still thought that this program was outrageously gorgeous. To me, there was no question that this should have been 6 O's from everyone.
Well, we have to look at him. And she's not Canadian. And he just doesn't seem to be a star. They don't...
Well, but it was a subtle program.
What's his sob story? Does he have one? I don't know.
Maybe he's too normal. Maybe he's too well-adjusted.
Like, he doesn't seem to have, like, a story or anything, like...
Yeah.
And then, like, occasionally they'll be like, she's skating for the Heart Foundation. For Sergei. You're like, oh, yeah. Her ex-husband died. You know? They're like, yes.
But that's what I'm saying. And he's, like, yelling it to her while she's skating over, immediately following her program. Raising money for heart stuff because, you know, your husband died. Remember Sergei? And it was like, yeah, that was a couple husbands ago. Like, oh, my God, what are we talking about? Like, what are you doing?
Jonathan, we're not supposed to talk about Katya's personal life. Okay? Like...
Fair enough. Apologies, dear.
Every man who skates with her falls in love with her, okay? That's all you need to know. She can't help it, okay? She's just perfect, okay?
Okay.
Do you know how sexy she became after Sergei died? Like, where was that before, okay?
Right. She was a child when he died, I feel. How old was he? He was in his early 20s.
He was 28, so she was like 20.
Oh, 28. So maybe she was early 20s. Okay.
Unless she was 23. You know, they had the birthdays, but they were like 4 years apart. I've read my Sergei countless times. Remember the TV movie where Berezhnaya and Secretlica played them? And that was very exciting. She, like, knitted that clown for him, or she crocheted. She was a very good crocheter.
I remember they came out with Daria's Christmas, and there was
I never read the second book.
A snowman on ice, and it was...
Remember she wrote, like, a letter for Daria? And I remember being like, why do we want a letter for Daria? What does Daria have to do with this?
Daria's right there, just tell her.
But they really marketed Daria. She was in those commercials. Remember the one where, like, Katya was in the ballet studio with Daria? As a mother and daughter, too. You know.
Right? Are you kidding? Like, my mom and I played Boggle, and she probably yelled at me about the misspelling of a word or something.
Debbie never took me to the dance studio, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe if she was a good mother like Katia, she would have watched the whole Adam Rippon interview before, like, we had to have words about it, okay?
Oh, okay.
We didn't actually have words, but she was like, I'm very busy. And I'm like, well, you told me you were excited to watch it. And she was like, I have Anderson Cooper to watch.
Amazing. You're like, this is much gayer than that.
And I was like, oh. She could tell she ticked me off. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll talk to you later. Then she texts me, I'm 18 minutes in. Later. Like, she doesn't really apologize, so it's like it never happened.
Yeah, that was her olive branch.
She's like, he's 18 minutes in. He and Ashley are on the same cycle. And, like, I don't know if, like, that went over her head or not, that whole line, but, like, she was... Everything was now fine. Debbie's watching the interview. Suddenly she has all the time in the world. You just have to, like, shade her. She knew she messed up. She does sometimes know. She'll, like,
there is a bit of self-awareness at times.
At times.
Okay.
Yes.
Selective self-awareness.
I was like, oh, all right. Listen, I watch all those Stephen Colbert clips you send me in the morning, every freaking morning. Yes, he doesn't like Trump. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Next. Okay.
Anyway, I'll do whatever Katya says.
Yes.
I loved all of her lifts. I loved everything that she did. You know,
stunning. It was a stunning program.
Marie-France gave it a 5.9 because she's the only one with any taste. Okay.
Because she's the only one who gets it.
Kurt gave her a 5.8.
Ridiculous.
What was that about?
Right. Well, it's about Kurt. That's what that's about.
Kurt's happy, okay?
Yeah, he should be smiling more than he is.
I don't get it. Okay. Anyway, the next week. Oh, yes, Vanessa James went home. The next week, Violetta and PJ were skating to Do You Love Me? Do you love me? Do you love me?
What was the theme of this one? It was all movie songs or something?
I don't know. It was the theme that, like, I didn't care about this frickin' judge. I don't know who she is. She had no personality. Was she a hockey player? She looks like maybe a hockey player.
She was a hockey player because she was wearing hockey skates and she was very much close with the female hockey skater who was.
Yeah, she really looked close with the female hockey skater. I have to put
Yeah. Oh, she knew Miss Spooner.
Okay. Maybe she scored 51 goals. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Very good at hockey.
The first goal was Miss Spooner.
I saw her and believed that she was very good at hockey, but maybe not good at the skating. Okay.
And certainly this particular judge wasn't good at making the comments. She seemed nervous, a little rehearsed, and it would be hard. It would be hard to do that for your colleagues doing something you also don't know much. It should be skating people, I think, especially because they have a mainstay hockey guy already there.
And then I didn't know all the details, but a fan came up to me and they were saying that Megan was a good judge. So I texted her and I said, I heard you were a very good judge in Battle of the Blades. And I had heard the results, so I said, thank you for keeping Katia another week. And she goes, well, actually I tied them because I felt bad for the bottom two.
You need to send her a selfie of you and the Katia Barbie being like...
Megan, we love you.
We really do.
But where the hell...
We don't want to yell at a pregnant lady, but we might.
I know you think Brisser and Eisler deserve the Golden Lillehammer. And I think you're about to have a baby any minute. But just know my internal monologue is going like this. Okay.
Yeah.
This is...
ridiculous. Yeah.
Anyway, Violetta and PJ. Violetta's so good. Mm-hmm. I saw that show Absinthe, and I think that she would be good. There were these two roller skaters, and I thought about posting this video where they were doing a roller skating routine to take me to church. But they were dressed kind of slutty, and I feel like skating fans are such snowflakes lately that, I didn't know if I needed to post it or not because people would freak out. You never know what's going to set someone off. Maybe someone's very Christian and feels that it's like Madonna dancing on the altar. I mean, we don't...
We never know.
There was certainly nothing religious about the performance, but it was...
Right.
It was spiritual to me, and that's what's important. Okay.
More Salome, Mary Magdalene kind of biblical.
Yes.
Okay.
So... she has the great extension, but I just felt like he wasn't trying this week.
Okay.
And Renee is so intense. I mean, Renee wanted to make the Olympics so badly that her wrist broke doing a compulsory dance at the 94 Nationals. She was really committed to that dark chocolate, cashews, and coffee. Okay? She was committed, all right?
But I have to say, when they were showing footage of her, she looked very different than I anticipated her looking. No, but I just didn't recognize the face as hers.
Oh.
I don't know. It's been a while. I've not really seen her. But you did a great... Did you do a recap with her or an interview with her?
We did do one, and then... It was funny. I was going to do, I wanted to have her on to have a recap about, the dance.
Were we going to do Worlds?
She was going to come on for the Olympics.
Okay.
And then she was just, busy during that time and, not quite getting it. And I was like, yeah, you can recap the Olympics. She just, called me up, and she just, she went off about Papadakis' rhythm dance costume. She was like, that shouldn't happen. She's a professional. Everyone knows that you put on 4 buttons and 7 stitches, and there's no frickin' way that happens. Right. And she was like, it's the Olympic Games, and you're the top competitor. Do you remember me? My wrist broke when I wanted to go to the Olympics. And then Liz and Jared wrote a letter saying that we shouldn't get citizenship because Igor then turned against us. Right. Even though we used to coach them and be friends. She was just, full on intense. I loved it. I loved her here. I love her Lion King program. She really gets it. I think Deanna and Renee would get along. Maybe you and Deanna would get along better because she wouldn't be using Julia Marcotte. There's all sorts of things that could be happening. So... The USFS is still waiting for, one of our top pairs to split, or, so they can put her with them. Because they won't release her, but they don't...
Ridiculous.
But they don't want to not release her, right? They don't want to be accused.
There's no alternative for her. In the U.S.
So they're just waiting. But then it kills a year of skating together. Because they think in the U.S., well, you could just skate together for 6 months and be fine, right? Like, that's all it takes.
Right. Well, with these standards...
She should just call Ty Babylonia. Ty, when she's not posting pictures of herself and Randy doing ballet in 1979, will be like, excuse me? Excuse me? Turn your hip out, pair girls. And you should let Deanna skate for Canada, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You know why? Because Forever 2 is 1, and Canada is really boring right now, and they need that kind of personality, okay?
They do, especially in the pairs. Yeah, totally.
Oh my God, we saw Cami and Drew in person. They really do. They really do.
Yeah, they're ready for something.
They are the two nice. They are two Canadian nice. They're so Canadian. They're the nicest, most beautiful skaters. They don't have a prayer. It's like...
Yeah, Canadian Pairs Nationals will be very interesting this year.
Oh my God, I know. They don't even know that they deserve it, okay? They don't even deserve Deanna. She's our queen. They don't even know, okay?
Right.
Nate missed her favorite part in the program last year, Jonathan. I don't know if you knew that.
The jumps and lifts and spins and
Remember the lifts? Remember when she was sitting there like... And Jim was like, Deanna, that was a beautiful performance. And she was like, we missed my favorite part. We missed my favorite part. And she's like, we're going to be fourth. And he's like, Deanna, that was beautiful. You're not. And she's like... And then Mark's she's like, see? Told ya. Yeah. They don't even deserve that in Canada. And then they're going to be like... You know the Canadian fans will be like, why does Deanna seem upset? That was a beautiful performance. They won't get it either, okay? Unless Tessa and Scott were maybe going to finish second, and then they would get it, okay?
Yes, they would.
They would get it, all right? Mm-hmm. Love Canadians. Love them all.
Meanwhile, on the CBC.
Why isn't there a Canadian doll? I don't know. But we love Canadians like Dorothy loves Diane DeLuca.
Maybe they have a vintage Barbie and Scott or something.
Yes. Katya's throw Lutz. Do you think that she was meaning to do a double the second week? Like, what was going on?
I think if you're her, you want the single so you have time to adjust on your way down should you need it.
She usually does a double in these shows. But it looked like he threw her strangely. But that Zorro program was sexy. And her mom's only 70? I was like, really?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. They all seem very young, and they have kids very young in Russia. They always have grandmother. They're always like, my grandmother, who's 50, and I'm like,
what?
You mean my grandmother who's 85? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
But isn't it interesting? I didn't care for the Zorro program because it needed him to be the star, and this is where I noticed him not really step through the door. And he
only was like.
And
I don't know if I feel like you never watched America's Top Model, but Tyra really didn't like white people or blonde girls, and she would always rig it in such a way that she would have a girl from like the Midwest that would be in the final two. And they would always be going for, like, the beautiful ethnic girl with, like, great skin and, an interesting look. And she would always, like, have to, like, let it be edited and skewed so that, like, we could tell the story. Even if that girl took bad pictures, we had to, like, set the finals so that, like, the result seemed... It's a TV show, right? So she'd always go, like, you know, Jonathan, you take beautiful pictures... But you're just a pretty girl. I could just see you in the mall. Like, you're just a pretty girl. Taking a pretty picture. I don't feel anything.
You're like, that's kind of what modeling is, I feel like.
She wants to be like, girl, you are so fierce! You know? Like,
yeah, exactly. She's like, you lack a soul, but it's a very pretty exterior.
It's like Caitlyn Weaver.
Houses your soulless body. Yeah.
It's like, if Tyra was to explain why Caitlyn Weaver never wins any titles, she'd be like... You're just a pretty girl.
Doing pretty movements.
Doing pretty movements.
Yeah.
Maybe you could win Battle of the Blades. Okay?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't even remember why I was talking about Just a Pretty Girl, but there was a point to it. Who was I talking about? Oh, her partner. He's just a pretty man. He's not giving us anything, okay? He is giving us nothing other than a nice ass and, like, decent face. But he doesn't even wear it in, like, Brian Johnson pants. You know?
I know. I mean, those pants. I still think about them. But yeah, it's true. And the Zorro needed fire. And I did love the opening. I loved her like fancy dress thing, and then it became the cake. Now the throw to the camera that almost worked.
She's happy with you.
Yeah. But it was just so elegant and lovely. And then from there, he just didn't walk through it. I like them in the lyrical stuff more. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, oh, and Katia did like a little solo spin by herself with a death drop, which we know that Jonathan loves.
I do, and she looked beautiful. But I thought also it was interesting that we saw none of him in that moment. Like, because I was so enraptured.
Isn't it preferable? Isn't that the way we want it?
Maybe, but I just have him like a little in camera, because he had to have done something.
I know.
But I love the camera angle to be like, forget it.
I want her to skate with Candace Cameron Bure's husband again, right? And then we can maybe ask...
No, I want her to skate with Candace Cameron.
Oh my God, can we ask Candace Cameron all the questions that make her really uncomfortable?
Yes.
Anything to do with her brother's crazy-ass comments, one. Because she's always... she probably agrees with him, but is always trying to pander and be likable. She is smarter than her. She's more self-aware than her brother. She knows that you have to play, like... nice to get those Hallmark movie, right? We could ask her, have you talked to Mary-Kate and Ashley lately? Will they be coming on Fuller House? How about Aunt Becky? How's she doing? Like, right? Like, these are the things that we want to know, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also,
she came out pretty unscathed compared to some of her colleagues.
Also, when your husband was skating with Katia, were you nervous? Did you feel insecure?
Because you should have been.
She should have been, okay? It's like kryptonite. Okay?
Yeah.
Like...
exactly. And she is a jewel. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, Spooner and Poje skating to the Juicy Wiggle by Red Foo, other known as Berry Gordy's son.
I know a lot of weird trivia that the host was throwing in that I was like, I could barely follow what you just said, but okay.
What did this have to do with Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I didn't understand that connection at all, and he even wore the big giant A on it. Maybe they did it in the movie or something, or I don't know.
Like, the only Alvin and the Chipmunks I care about is the one from the 80s with the Chipettes, and I love the girls. And
oh my God, Dave, I think you're telling every gay man story from that era, because same thing, do you remember the old Adam West Batman? I mean, obviously I wasn't watching it live.
Where it said pow? Like, remember it used to say pow?
And I would only watch the first 15 seconds of the intro, because Batgirl, if she was going to be on the episode, they showed her driving past. And then if it was a Batgirl episode, I was like, yes, I'm watching. And if she wasn't, I was like...
Who are the best 3 characters on the show?
On Batman?
If you're a gay man, the best 3 characters. Batgirl?
Oh, Eartha Kitt.
Is that Catwoman?
Catwoman? Yes.
Full drag queen, every episode. Full drag, 100%. Okay?
Yeah.
And Robin.
I mean,
frippin' adorable, okay?
Yeah. Exactly.
Bottoming everywhere, okay? The best, okay?
All over the place.
Okay. Amazing. Batman just had to be there and be hot with a low voice. He was giving us...
Yeah. But we loved Adam West, because then he went on and did Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yes. We do, okay? But going back to the Chipettes.
No idea. Yeah, lacking Chipettes in this particular...
Why was it? She could not be a Chipmunk. She wasn't Brittany. Remember Alvin's girlfriend? Weren't the Chipmunks young to be dating? I mean, how old were they?
And because my brother's adopted, and they had this like heart-wrenching adoption cartoon episode once about the chipmunks realizing, they weren't Dave's biological chipmunks. And it's like, I remember sobbing as a child watching this, and they're like, but we don't know our real mom and dad. And I was like, oh my God.
Are they really brothers? Why is the one fat? Okay.
You know what? No, I'm just
I love how they had like identical like female versions.
Because you can only be with someone who looks like you.
Well, that's like boyfriend twins. Anyway.
I know, yeah. I was one of them. You kind of were too, in a way.
Not really. Not so much.
All right. Overall height, and you're very slim also. I know you always talk about Michael Shanley being slim, but you're quite slim.
No, he's very slim.
Yeah.
He's Anna Sherbakova slim. He also feels nothing wrong with saying that a female ice dancer should be thin. He was like, he's very Frank Carroll about it. He's like, yeah,
for some of us, dear, it's not as much of a choice.
He was like, Of course Madison Chalk should win. She's the prettiest. Like, that. She belly dances, okay?
Yeah,
She's
I mean...
And she takes from Marie-France, okay? Where's the Marie-France doll? That's what we need, okay?
Yeah, right?
Does it have
you
a
could
crown?
style some of those hairs.
Does Matthew Caron make one? Okay.
Yeah, let's commission it.
I don't know how to say Matthew in French Canadian, but
Mathieu.
Again, I don't know how to say Matthew in French Canadian. I know that it exists and that it sounds different. I just can't actually do it. Okay.
Fair enough. Hashtag Matthew.
Hashtag Matthew with a U. Okay. So the Juicy Wiggle I think is funny because I love me some college gymnastics.
You sent the clip.
And there's this hot mess on the Georgia team she's one of the most talented girls, but she's like guaranteed to fall 50% of the time during the regular season. She's from Canton, Michigan. We definitely talked about the Shibutanis when I've met her.
Okay.
She's a little bit ditzy. Her name's Rachel Dixon. And she goes to me, sometimes... Sydney said it. Sometimes Rachel and I don't get along. And I said, because you're both bitches and you want to beat each other.
Right.
She was like... And I was like... yeah.
Hello?
You're like the only two thin, pretty blonde girls on the team, and everyone thinks you look almost exactly the same.
You're either going to love or hate each other. Yeah.
No one can tell you apart.
Right. I bet that feels horrible.
People ask Rachel for Sydney's autograph. Like,
well, what does she write? That's the question.
Don't know. But like, the shade is everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. Amazing.
But they gave Rachel Dixon this music because Suzanne said because she's a spaz and she can't dance. And I was like,
I see that choice working. Yeah.
I just think that the same thing could be said about Andrew Poje's partner. And yet it was likable. But did you notice that there was a shot where the camera went long and like she was doing some hockey crossover skating and charging. And I was like, whoa, that's a little much. Like,
yeah, that's a battle. That you're bringing the battle to the battle.
This is still a sport where Frank Carroll wants a lady to look a certain way. Okay?
And it doesn't involve charging down the aisle.
All right? Frank just knows to stay off of TV during an election year or something. I don't know. He's just... Remember when he got the golds and he was like, well, Anne, we have a lot of work ahead of us. We have to get them to skate like girls. Okay? He was like, he wasn't wrong. Okay? Like,
he wasn't. Yeah.
Alex Arashev just like doesn't know. He just like doesn't know.
Yeah.
He was like, I will teach you to throw tires, skate like angry Ukrainian girl. Like he didn't get that she was supposed to look like Grace Kelly. Liz Manley loved it. Okay.
Yeah, there you
go. Also, like the Kaitlyn Weaver Charlie Chaplin program. We talked about sexual abuse. It was intense.
And I was thinking, we know Charlie Chaplin is kind of a cringe thing in the actual skating community, but here everything is new. If you were to do Carmen, Moulin Rouge, Phantom, all this shit, it's all, kind of new to this format. So actually, I'm sure people watching at home without the vast knowledge of all the Charlie Chaplin programs we have was like, oh, cute idea. And he actually kind of rose to the challenge. When he did that initial kind of Charlie walk, I didn't know that any of these hockey guys could actually pull that off naturally.
Do you think that was choreography or was he stumbling? Like what?
In some of the other ones, like if it was Vanessa's partner or if it had been Amanda's partner, I would be like, oh, shoot, he's just trying to go forward to get to her. But this was, I don't know, there was something endearing about it. And he's a little bit older, right? So you kind of have a soft spot for him that way. And again, Kaitlyn seems like such a generous partner to him. I don't know.
Do you think she felt this program was original? She loves a warhorse.
And I think she was like, this will be a great vehicle. Like, because it seemed they were trying to put the guys in the spotlight a little bit more.
Although she was good at her role.
I thought so too.
A silent film star. I mean, she had a real depth. Okay, she was really like on point. Okay.
Yeah. They did some real moves. It was cute.
Oh my god. We know when I was talking to Jane Ron this weekend, we were revisiting some Hackensack moments that I think people have overlooked because it was a dark period post Michelle and Sasha. Do you remember when Javi, speaking of Charlie Chaplin, do you remember when he used to be drunk in his footwork sequence to Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, that was a moment. I'm thinking that
I was here for it.
A tribute to Hackensack montage, okay? Of, like, all the greasy moral
The lowest of the low moments. Yeah.
Miki Ando.
Sponsored by Rock Bottom.
Miki Ando was our queen. She was the champion, not once but twice, of the world, okay?
That is insane. And ratified for squad, right?
Ratified.
Even when they were talking about Anna Sherbakova, they were like, oh, you know, she's only the third to have landed it in senior competition. And I thought, well, who other than
Miki Ando, our shining Hackensack star. Like in that song about Tanya Harding. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, this number, his turns are bad and he stumbles and they gave him all sixes. And I was like, is this because they had a bench and she had a costume and we had a theme? Like,
it's you know what? It was the only one that actually had a performance quality to it, quite frankly, because so far Zorro and Poje's girl, like,
they don't seem to care that the skating is bad. Like, we're not getting better this year.
Well, and they kind of look down because there might be a hesitation to it, but he actually kind of committed. And I felt
they hated themselves for it a little bit as they were doing. No, the two hockey people didn't know. I think he was like mesmerized. I think he had not a clue.
Okay.
Kurt was putting on his best Scott Hamilton, being like, sometimes, because he made a dig a little bit. He's like, it's about more than the skating.
Yeah, he's like, I'm giving you this for the story because just so you know, don't think I think you're good.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that was complete. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I do
it's
love it.
It's like when I say Elisavetta's short program in Finlandia was not artistic in the big scheme of things, but for her, it was the most artistic I have seen her.
And it's like when I say, do you think it was good because you were in an airplane? That's a gentle way of saying what I think.
We're all just swimming around.
And then,
speaking of which, who was doing the swimming lift? That was
Scooter and Poje. But I think, don't you swim like this in the 60s? Like,
well, it said swim like a fish. So that's, I think, why they were
literal
trying.
Choreography.
Yeah, that's why they were going like this. Okay.
I never actually knew the words to, because, you know, gymnastics, they don't allow lyrics. But I just know that we shake our butt and go, duh, duh, duh. Oh, and Rachel can never do it on the beat. So it's real. Dun, 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 dun,
it's kind of a weird song. Like, I wasn't a fan, but yeah.
I kind of love it. When you watch it for 15 weeks in a row and you're, like, praying that this ditzy girl, like, remembers her floor routine and, like...
Shake your butt on the same moment. Come on.
You
we literally... have so little.
Like, Jonathan, they do those things where they give him, like, big poses and they go... Like, it's...
They need, like, children's eurythmics, like kinder music. Like, do you hear the beat? Here. Like...
Oh, my friend that introduced me to Bill May is the one that I got to choreograph the routines for Georgia. Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Stella Ume. So, yes. Okay. She'd be like, yeah, we're trying.
We can only do the best we can.
You know, some of these girls don't have dance training anymore. They don't do compulsories, okay?
All they can do is be better than they were, Dave. What's she doing? She's coming. I see her.
She's coming. She's coming out. Stella used to be doing, like, the African tribal programs. She was doing it all, okay?
We were
very Duchesne from Canada. Like, they did not know, okay?
The original Zach and Maddie.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. Amanda Evora. He is forgettable, but I was like, Jim Peterson loves pears. I literally felt that he was at home watching this on a VPN or something with bated breath because he kept tagging us on Facebook. And I was like, Jim has had a couple of vodkas and he is being real intense about this.
Okay.
And I don't think Amanda was in the bottom two. Not that anyone was voted off this week or that I was watching live, but he seemed real stressed, okay?
He's a staunch supporter.
Do you think that because you know he doesn't like Amanda to be away from him for very long. So do you think he feels that if she wins the show, it'll bring more glory to Team Florida?
I think anything she does would.
Why isn't he coaching them here? He doesn't have any top pairs right now. So why isn't he coaching them on the show?
Well, wouldn't that be all the reason? Because it's in the midst of regionals and sectionals and all that sort of stuff.
He can bring it. But Mervyn and Olivia's coach is working with her. He's got teams too. Okay. So... Okay. Oh, look, Katya's knees even hyperextend. Oh, my goodness.
It's just a gift that keeps on giving. She's a rockette now. She's too short, probably. But
my God, I love a rockette moment. Oh, my God.
Maybe we'll get one.
Okay.
And don't think I'm not already cringing, because they said that the final episode is going to air when? Halloween. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh,
what will Tessa Virtue be for Halloween? You know that she's the judge tonight and tomorrow. Or next week.
Okay.
I bet Tessa Virtue loves White Girl Halloween.
I think
I think so, John.
Although I'll have to say, I myself am not so into it. And I think because of like opera or something, like you're always in a costume, so it doesn't, like the novelty of wearing a costume doesn't hold any allure to me. And I wonder if the skaters feel the same way because they're always in dress up. So I wonder if they're actually not into it as a result.
I was into it in college, and then I was like, wait, you want me to spend $100 or more for like to sweat at a party for 2 hours? No! There's a skating competition on. Like...
Battle of the Blades finale, y'all.
Like, come on, all right?
And meanwhile, like, every time there's a Halloween South Park episode, they always just show Cartman in the background humming Christmas tunes. And that's me. I'm, like, literally the guy that's bringing up Christmas ornaments on Halloween.
So, Kurt was a little bit rude here. I feel that Jim wouldn't be happy with Kurt. He'll probably have a talk to him about this. You know, Kurt, I think that you really should have appreciated Amanda's double twist. It was really clean. It was very nice. It was complete.
I have to say, for them to have done that was very impressive.
It was. So she won. And I remember I messed up last week. I forgot that this had... She whipped out the triple twist in the finale of the last one. And, like, Amanda seems like the little engine that could. Like, if she makes it...
because I can tell you, he didn't catch her so gently. You know what I mean? Like, she was definitely doing all the work here.
Yeah, yes, but listen, Cheryl Burke is in it to win it, okay? Cheryl Burke is always wearing the dress with the side, with the cutout, like, and she was always doing the most, okay? She married the Lord.
And they would show fluff footage. She's always spinning in a corner somewhere. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. She has the greatest lifts.
She's great in the interviews. In the background pieces. She's charming, she's likable, she's relatable, it's great.
She is not just a pretty girl. Tyra would consider her to be America's next top model, okay?
Because she's vaguely ethnic, yeah.
Vaguely ethnic. She's still in the running, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay? This is not Tyra trying to say that we like...
She's had it with the status quo. Yeah.
She didn't like the Polish girl, though. She never even learned how to say her name, okay?
She's going to be bothered, yeah.
Qatar's, meanwhile, if anyone ever didn't know how to pronounce another name, Tyra would, like, talk to them like Oprah. She would come to the house and have a sit-down about how disrespectful they were to that designer. But if it's a contestant...
Forget it. They haven't earned that right.
Oh, and she didn't like that Katarzyna, she didn't like that she went to an Ivy League school. She said it made her pretentious. Because, you know, Tyra likes to let us know that she got into UCLA, but she never actually went.
That's clear. I mean, it's cool because she didn't have to, but do you know what I mean? But...
Yes, because we all know the story. She was on a plane, and someone asked to see her, and she was like, look at my passport photo. It was fierce. And then he hired her on the spot and brought her to Paris.
I'm sure that's totally how it happened.
Totally how it happened. There wasn't a trip to the plane bathroom at all, okay? I'm just letting you know that did not happen, okay?
And I'm like, dear Lord, what are you doing in your passport photo? And I'm like, oh.
She'd be like, see, girls, this is why you need a great passport photo.
God.
Yeah, like
everyone at the CBS with like tousled hair
when
getting
you
their
go to
all
the
disqualified.
DMV, make sure that you are smiling with your eyes and finding your light. They're gonna really enjoy it.
They are happy to let you take your time and just see it, and they won't crop it like this for sure. Wonderful.
I don't know why I'm talking about Tyra. I haven't thought about her in a long time. Anyway, she's great. Yeah.
In a vintagey sort of way.
He didn't really catch her. Well, skating feels vintage, doesn't it?
It sure does. Sure does.
Sure did when we were in Vegas
Sure.
with that crowd. Oh my God. I was like, we're going to all be on YouTube soon. We're going to all be on YouTube stars together, okay?
Right.
5'7", 5'7", 5'6" from Kurt Browning. So
The old standby, ready to go 1/10 lower.
So I don't know that I like this show without Sandra. It needs...
No.
I feel like she's our mother hen, navigating us through skating, telling us that it's still relevant.
Tracy would be fun. I mean, obviously she's
Tracy would be
swamped. Tracy would be an incredible
What
addition.
work is Tracy doing? Okay, she's got like a bunch of boys that pop every jump. It's their decision.
No, they pop every other jump because
You know what? Brian was here watching.
He was.
Tracy
He was.
could have judged.
But why didn't Brian just judge then?
Low energy.
Kurt.
Oh, Kurt.
Yeah.
Mm.
He has 2 Olympic medals, Kurt.
But Doug Haw does seminars with both of them.
Oh, tricky. Tricky.
But he only refers to Brian as his bestie, so...
And I think Thierry prefers Kurt skating, for sure. I think.
She would say something like, I like someone who won more than one world title.
Yes, I think you are correct.
I love her so much.
I know.
Like, if we didn't have her, we would really have nothing in skating right now. She's the only camp value that we have. Like, that...
Yeah, we've had to shift it. IJS, you won't give us the skater personalities, letting them shine through the... Fine, forget it. We'll elevate the coaches' personalities.
So last night I had a moment, Jonathan, as we wrap this up. I feel like skating has been missing something. I would kill for I think the U.S. ladies are boring. I've decided after we were in Las Vegas, we have no personality.
That's when you decided? Oh, okay.
No. Call me crazy, but
I have several.
There is nothing I would enjoy more than seeing Diva Wagner come out with a new hair color and a new ugly dress, skating to center ice, and then hearing Nicole Kidman go, "Love is just a game." BAM! Into that double axel. It is the camp we are missing. Okay?
But no, if she really had a sense of humor about it, it would be "Love is just a game" into double axel, and then it would screech, and then it would be something else entirely.
Yes. Okay.
It would be like a gotcha moment, and then it would be Swan Lake instead, Black Swan.
Love is just a game. The opening of that damn program. Oh my God.
It was effective not once, not twice, not 3 times either.
We want to know, is there any way that you can stop Canadians having a finale that is going to make us want to vomit in our Katia mouths, okay?
Justice for Katya.
She's dressed in virginal white, and she just wants to be in the finals and maybe
That's
win.
all.
She has kids to put through college, okay? Weaver has no kids.
She didn't even have time to go to the ballet bar with them because she's doing this show, so she might as well in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you understand that while other people were parenting, she was touring, okay? Making that money that those girls will
Hashtag no partner, no problem. Yeah,
Okay.
that was...
She was a bigger star after, okay? Like, it
kind
was
of, in a way, yeah.
the Jackie O of skating, all right? Do you understand? You cannot disrespect the family like that. Katya is our guiding light.
Be careful. That's the foundation of which this entire sport is sitting.
Yes, okay? Hold an edge and look sexy. Bye, guys.